Welcome, everyone. We'll call our meeting to order. I'd like to call on Council Nance, if he will pray for us and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Lord, we thank you for this day and this opportunity to be about your business. God, I pray that you'd be with our troops around the world. Lord, I pray that you'd be with us tonight as we make decisions. And Lord, we know that you will take care of us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Might say before we do roll call, Council Chitwood is on the phone because of the changes in the recent rulings. He's not able to participate by voting tonight, but he would be able to participate in discussion. So he is on the phone, and those are the guidelines we'll follow today. Roll call, please.
John Ketcher.
Here.
Troy Shropshire.
Here.
Dennis Nance.
Here.
Steve Smith.
Here.
Randy Chitwood.
Here.
Brianna Breckfield.
Here.
Jimmy Trammell.
Here.
Yolanda Thompson.
Here.
Thank you. Item 2, petitions from the audience. I'd like to recognize Pastor Dan Hazelton.
Yes, sir.
So I'm here tonight representing the Impact Center of Oklahoma and Impact Pryor. One of the things that we have done on a quarterly basis, but have been off track with the COVID deal for a while, is to get all the helping hands, different organizations together. And we fix them a dinner and give about 13 of them the opportunity to speak 3 minutes and talk about what's going on. The idea of that is so that we're all talking together, so that we can know what each other's doing, and a lot of times it'll help us not reproduce the same services that somebody else is doing. So anyway, that's coming up. It's on Monday, August 30th. Any of you are welcome to come and be a part of that. As people come to that, we also provide them with a directory so that they can know what, all the different contact points for each person. And then if you continue to come to that, each time there's somebody new, we will update your book. So it's a real good resource for the community. So we hope you guys would come out.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Item 3, department head reports. Building inspector. No report. Emergency management. No report. Fire department.
I don't have anything unless y'all got any questions for me. Figure we'll get to talk enough later on when we get to the budget.
We shall. Thank you, BK.
Yes, sir.
Golf. Recognize Mr. Dennis Bowman.
I don't have a lot to report except for we've been really busy. July was a record month for us, so it's taken a lot of work, a lot of time. It's really been good. The compliments we've gotten on the golf course is great. One of our upcoming events that we're having is a Northeast Oklahoma Veterans Freedom Tour, 2nd annual fundraiser tournament. So it's a benefit to send some people up to Washington, D.C. on that freedom flight type deal. So anybody knows if anybody wants to play in it, it's on our Facebook. We send you out emails and everything, so give me a holler. They still need some teams, so it's going to be a good deal. I think we'll raise some good money for them. Other than that, we've just been busy. Any questions for me?
Thank you very much, Dennis. Library. Our librarian, Carrie Rearrett.
I don't have my normal fancy pants sheet for you today. My husband had a death in his family, so we've been
Sorry.
with that most of the day. But I can tell you that our door count for July was 3,600 people. It's not back to pre-COVID numbers, but we're more this July than we were last July, so things are good. Same with questions, 3,158 for July, which is almost 1,000 more than we had last July. So we're getting busier. Our meeting room is organized. If the kids from the middle school want to come across the street and do some homework, it's a socially distanced space where they can hang out after school. So we're gonna get there. Do you guys have any questions for me? Right.
Thank you very much, Carrie. Parks and Cemetery, Mr. Frank Powell.
don't have a whole lot, just in our summer months. Kind of grateful for a little dry break there. If it can break down, it has this summer. It's been one of those summers. But other than that, it's going good. Splash pads on its summer hours. Bathrooms have been open for 3 weeks now. And so far, so good. No vandalism. But other than that, just doing our normal maintenance.
Have we discovered any maintenance issues or any issues that we might want to tend to regarding the bathroom?
We see a couple things that we think will eventually cause, but so far, everything's good. And they tried to do one little minor thing, but other than that, but everything's been good so far.
Very good. Any other questions?
Touch on the swimming pool.
I haven't heard anything. The pool or park subcommittee is supposed to be doing some meetings and come with their recommendation. Other than that, I haven't heard anything.
Council Catcher, as far as I know, the pool subcommittee has been meeting, and I would anticipate recommendation through park board from them.
If you do get a chance to look, there's that 4-way bouncy toy in the park. It's been there forever. And we had to replace the springs here a while back, and the arms were blue and it had like a red shield in the middle. Oh my God, he's got all, made a Captain America shield and put all those stars on it. So it's pretty cool looking. So if y'all see it, it's kind of neat.
All right, cool.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you, Frank. Police Department? Chief Nichols.
I don't have anything, Mayor, unless you all do tonight. School started. It's been busy. Things are going good.
Well, I do want to bring up something, what we talked about earlier on the phone about the officer with 12 versus the one with 3. Do you have any other more to tell me?
I don't know if you want to do that now or later in the agenda when it's on there.
Well,
Whatever the mayor wants me to do.
I don't want to disparage from any of those guys getting promoted, but I figured this would be the time to talk about it instead of trying to go in on individual
Okay,
line items.
as long as it's proper to talk about at this point, Mayor, we're talking
Well,
about
it's up to the
promotions
mayor.
within the department.
Well, promotions within the department, we're gonna have some discussion about that in a little while.
Okay.
Might be more appropriate at that time of the meeting.
I'll wait.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Recreation Center? Jessica Long.
I don't have much, just, we started the awning project last week, so we have some huge footings that have been dug out. But we ran into a couple issues with the sprinkler system and some lines, and so, we're trying to get that worked out, before we get the concrete and all that in. So, anyway, but it started, and so we're excited about that, and our members are excited about that, so. But I don't really have anything new, we're just transitioning into our fall schedule, and things will kick off pretty soon with the after-school program and the swim team, and the Pryor Tiger Special Swim Team will come in, so we'll start getting really busy after Labor Day, again. Busy again.
Do you have an update on the fitness pad? How,
I will know something this month,
okay.
so I haven't heard yet, so, but I should in the next week.
Is that with funding or, okay.
Yes, I'm just waiting very patiently, or not so patiently, but yes, so I'm waiting.
Okay.
But I heard I will know something before the end of August.
Have you gotten any funding?
We've received one sponsorship
Okay.
for now, but this one that we're waiting on is a big one.
Okay.
So we'll hopefully fund all of it.
Good.
It goes, yeah.
Hopefully.
according to
Is
plan.
your new software going well?
Yeah,
You know,
it is.
It's a whole lot smoother than the old.
Much smoother. And I think we finally worked out most of the
Kinks.
little
Good.
quirks that we had. So, yeah, it's going really well.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Street Department? Mr. Buddy Glenn.
No, not much change, it's still kind of our daily operations. We went from the north side of town on sidewalks, we're over on the south side. We're just trying to move around, try to please a little bit of everybody. We've dipped a few ditches. We're going back to the alleys here, I think this next week. We got one more trimming and spraying to do and mowing, and I think that'll take care of that. The beaver situation is still kind of the same. We just kind of make them mad. We'll drain water down a little bit, and they come back and patch their holes up. But, run the sweepers when we can, and just staying busy.
I might say that there's a letter that came in regarding the street department this week, and the letter was sent to county commissioner, it was sent to the paper, it was sent to the mayor and whatnot. It has to do with Northeast First Street going from Cemetery Hill out to the city boundary, which is Keel Road. And so the definition of the city boundary is Keel Road. Anything east of Keel Road is county, and anything west of Keel Road on Northeast First Street, which is Old Highway 20, would be city responsibility. So that will be an agenda item on the street committee in a week, and so we'll be able to discuss how we maintain that road, and we appreciate the citizen sending the letter in.
Okay.
So,
Any questions? Thank you.
thank you, buddy. We'll move to item 4, Mayor's Report. We have a distinguished person in the room today, and would like to publicly recognize Officer Mitchell Phillips because and Kika, who is our dog, right? That's the dog's name, right? Yeah. So for their awards at the Association of Oklahoma Narcotic Enforcers Banquet for Region K-9 Team of the Year and State K-9 Team of the Year. And so, Chief, somebody tell us about that.
Sorry, I forgot to give the mayor the paper. So, last Thursday night, I think was it last council meeting, he was recognized for the national award. This is the state award for A1, which is the Oklahoma Narcotics Enforcers. We knew that Officer Phillips had the region award, and then it was a surprise to all of us that night that he received the #1 K-9 Team of the Award, or K-9 Team of the Year award for the state of Oklahoma. So hundreds of $1,000s in seizures, I think 45 arrests, and multiple, I think there's like 9 pounds. How many pounds in that? 24, sorry, 924. So anyways, he's done a great job. We just want to recognize him tonight for that.
Excellent job. Please give him. Good job, Officer Phillips. All right, item 5, City Attorney's Report.
Can I ask a question under your report right here? Ask you a question. The next time, we get this book under the mayor's report for the building plan, when will they be coming back so we can discuss this book and put this on the mayor's report?
So I meet monthly with them, and what they do is they supply, they supply a kind of a monthly update where they will update the tracking of submittals, tracking of the schedule and that sort of thing. I like for them to come in, not every month, but maybe every other month.
But I'd like to discuss, when I looked at some things, I got some questions about the red line and stuff like that on there. I don't think it's proper to do it right here, but I'd like to bring it up with the council.
So as far as the red lines that are on that, and you're not the only council that's asked me about that, Those red lines are red lines that draw attention to, in that case, probably submittals that are delinquent and that perhaps might be holding us up. So we tend to that with Mr. Graber and also with our construction manager. So there's not red flags that we're flying right now.
But
in
there
that
might be
regard.
later on, but can we put that as an agenda to discuss it?
Absolutely.
At the
Sure.
next?
Absolutely. So I've started placing those in your box
Yeah, and that's
so
what
that
I
you stay,
really
so
like
that
it.
you stay updated and,
I have some issues, but not just some concerns about and that, so, I just like to discuss it.
very happy to.
All right.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item 6, discussion possible action on consent agenda. Item A, approved minutes, August 3rd, 2021 council meeting. Item B, approved payroll purchase orders through August 20 and September 3rd, 2021. Item C, approved claims for purchase orders through August 17, 2021. Item D, acknowledge receipt of deficient purchase orders. Item E, discussion possible action regarding change order number 1 from Boss Contracting LLC as an emergency action in the amount of $64,040.65, which reflects an increase in the amount of $9,200.65 for project 2021 Pryor, Oklahoma street patch city jobs from street capital outlay account 14-145-5411. Excuse me. Item F, discussion possible action regarding the proposed City of Pryor Creek 2021-2022 pay plan. This proposed pay plan incorporates 3% cost of living increase and incorporates the changes noted on ranges B, C, Q, and R, and adds range U. Ratification of this pay plan makes the effective date of the plan July 1, 2021. Item G, discussion possible action regarding the 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek General Fund Budget, Fund 02. Item H, discussion possible action regarding the 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Street Budget, Fund 14. Item I, discussion possible action regarding the 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Cemetery Care Fund Budget, Fund 19. Item J, discussion possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Golf Fund Budget, Fund 41. Item K, discussion possible action regarding the 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Capital Outlay Fund Budget, Fund 44. Item L, discussion possible action regarding the 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Real Property Acquisition Reserve Fund Budget Number 46. Item M, discussion possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Recreation Center Fund Budget, Fund 84. Item N, discussion possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Public Works Authority Fund Budget, Fund 88. Item O, discussion possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek E911 Fund Budget, Fund 91. Item P, excuse me. Discussion possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek COVID Reimbursement Fund, Fund 05. Item Q, discussion possible action regarding street rehabilitation project for 2021 to include the number 1 ranking projects as proposed by city engineer and recommended by street committee in the amount of $498,544 from proposed budget line item 141455410. Item R, discussion possible action regarding accepting bid from Chubb Implement Company for Rhino Boom Arm Mower for the Pryor Creek Street Department, state bid price $9,860.50 from street capital outlay account 141455411. Item S, discussion possible action regarding accepting bid from Chubb Implement Company for zero-turn mower of the Pryor Creek Street Department in the amount of $3,199 as in the best interest of the city from street capital outlay account 141455411. Other bids received: Springdale Tractor Company, $4,058, P&K Equipment, $2,999. Item T, discussion possible action regarding promotion of Trent Humphrey from Corporal Range K, Step 4, to Sergeant Range L, Step 4, annual wage $55,075 at the Pryor Creek Police Department, effective August 21, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in the 2021-2022 budget. Item U, discussion possible action regarding promotion of Dustin Van Horn from Corporal Range K, Step 4, to Sergeant Range L, Step 4, annual wage $55,075 at the Pryor Creek Police Department, effective August 21, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in the 2021-2022 budget. Item V, discussion possible action regarding promotion of Jared Vance from Corporal Range K, Step 4, to Sergeant Range L, Step 4, annual wage $55,075 at the Pryor Creek Police Department, effective August 21, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in 2021-2022 budget. Item W, discussion possible action regarding promotion of Justin Allen from Corporal Range K, Step 3, to Sergeant Range L, Step 3, annual wage $48,448 at the Pryor Creek Police Department, effective August 21, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in the 2021-2022 budget. Item X, discussion possible action regarding promotion of John Stanglin from Patrolman Range J, Step 3, Corporal Range K, Step 3, annual wage $47,316 at the Pryor Creek Police Department, effective August 21, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in the 21-22 budget. Item Y, discussion possible action regarding promotion of Billy Frazier from Patrolman Range J, Step 3, to Corporal Range K, Step 3, annual wage $47,316 at the Pryor Creek Police Department, effective August 21, 2021. Promotion has been budgeted in the 2021-2022 budget. Item Z, discussion possible action regarding hiring Jessica Flood to fill vacant patrolman position at the Pryor Creek Police Department at Range J, Step 2, annual wage $43,561, effective on or before October 1st, 2021. Jessica is CLEAT certified per Article 33, Section 4 of the Collective Bargaining Agreement, is eligible for Step 2. This position was left vacant by the resignation of Dylan Wright. Item AA, discussion possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $3,379.77 to Unmanned Vehicle Technologies to the purchase of a Mavic 2 Pro drone with accessories for the Pryor Creek Police Department from Police Vehicle Equipment Donations Account 969655510. This is a state contract price and will be used in accident investigations. Excuse me. Item BB, discussion possible action regarding purchase of 30,000 rounds of 9mm ammunition from Precision Delta Corporation at the state contract price of $5,593.80 for the Pryor Creek Police Department from Police Duty Ammo and Training Account 02-2155062. Item CC, discussion possible action regarding expenditure in the amount of $15,247.50 to WatchGuard for the purchase of an extended warranty and evidence library / DVR and device maintenance software on 45 devices for term July 2021 to July 2022 for the Pryor Creek Police Department as sole source from budgeted capital outlay account 4444455424. These are the items of the consent agenda. I would ask council to remove any of those items.
E,
Item E,
F,
F,
G,
G,
H,
H,
I,
I,
J,
J,
K,
K,
L,
L,
M,
M,
N,
N,
O,
O,
P,
P,
Q,
Q,
R,
R,
S,
S,
and AA, well, yeah, I want to, yeah,
item AA,
AA, BB, and
Item-
CC.
BB, and item CC. Are there others?
Item Z
Item Z,
and What the heck, do, T through Y.
Item T, U, V, W, X, and Y.
It's almost the whole thing.
We got 3 things approved.
We have succeeded in reviewing the alphabet today. Thank you very much.
And then some.
All right. I would entertain a motion from council to approve the items not removed, item A, B, C, and D.
Second.
And that would be Brakefield and second Thompson. Discussion? Call for vote?
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item E, discussion, you're really gonna ask me to read every one of these again.
I don't think you have to. I just think you just.
Item E, discussion and possible action regarding change order number 1 from Boss Contracting LLC as an emergency action in the amount of $64,040.65, which reflects an increase in the amount of $9,200.65 from Project 2021, Pryor, Oklahoma Street Patch City Jobs from Street Capital Outlay Account 141455411. Is there a motion?
I want to make a motion to declare this an emergency, like Kim usually requires, prior to approving it, for the reasoning of, I think that we had a standard, correct me if I'm wrong, on a unit price, we got a better unit price, and the school, and the opening of the school. I think that's what, I think that's when we declared it emergency, in order to get that intersection. We didn't clear it, we thought it wasn't safe, and we wanted to declare it emergency for those reasons. Then I'll make a motion to approve it, okay?
Very good.
Is that right, Mr., can I, is that? Huh?
That would be correct.
I'll second.
Motion, Ms. Trammell, second, Thompson. Call for vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher.
Yes.
Now I'd like to
Thank
make
you,
a motion.
thank you, Council Trammell.
Now I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve item E, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Brakefield, is there discussion? Hearing none, call for vote.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you, Council Trammell. Appreciate that direction. Item F, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed City of Pryor Creek 2021-2022 pay plan. This proposed pay plan incorporates 3% cost of living increase and incorporates the changes noted on ranges B, C, Q, R, and adds range U. Ratification of this pay plan makes the effective date of the pay plan July 1st, 2021. Is there a motion?
Can we move that till after we approve the budget?
Would you, okay,
Down,
so let's have a motion, a second, please. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Brakefield, motion, second, Thompson, discussion, you would like to move
I like
that item
until we
Until
approve,
after-
until after the budget's approved.
we have approved our
Our
budget.
budgets, yes. I'd like to lay it on the table at this time and then bring it back up, you know.
I see no problem with that. That could be discretion from chair. We will do that. Let's place that, please, at, after item P. Very good, thank you. All right, item G.
Do we need to vote?
No, you won't.
No, that does not need a vote. Item G, discussion possible action regarding 2021, 2022 City of Pryor General Fund Budget Fund 02. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the budget of $9,927,645.14 as stated per Jeff Coker, with the following amendments and any other amendments the council feels free to do. The following amendments, okay? 02, 201, 503, 5043,
Say again, please.
02201, account 02201, 5043, okay? That is insurance. 02201, 5045.
Okay, if I could interrupt you on that, I think you and I are on the same page, and I have done those calculations.
Okay.
And would like to entertain that change. So with the dividing out of the insurance components, there is a total of $22,995 that we can add to the general fund. If we take the street component of the property insurance, the rec center component of the property insurance, and the golf component of the property insurance, and we can add to the general fund, perhaps a general unallocated reserve and excess, $22,995, making that line item of 5041, $891,157.67. We do that, then
I have other changes.
On 5041,
if we do that,
If we add it to
We had it.
5041.
Yeah,
if we do that, then we change the total to $9,951,388.67.
9 million,
We change the total to $9,951,388.67.
It may change more, though.
I've got other, thank you very much for that. I've got other changes that I'd like to see, part of my motion.
All right, sir.
no, just make a
Can we
motion
make
to
a-
discuss and then,
Make an amended
and then
motion
make
if we
amendments
decide.
and discussion.
Well, if we
Isn't that
want.
what we typically do?
Well, last year we,
I would like to make a motion to
Okay, there's,
discuss.
I've already,
so,
Oh, there's
I have a
already
motion, but there's
on
no second yet.
so there's a motion, and there's no second. Chair would like to recommend to make the change to the general fund on item 5041 regarding the changes that I've just recommended.
We have-
If there is not a second on Council Trammell's motion,
Yes.
then motion from the chair could be considered,
I'll make it.
okay?
My motion wasn't complete. You know, I have other things to add to that motion, so.
Okay, forgive me, Council Trammell.
And then it would.
So let me allow you to finish then.
Okay, then if we want to change it, we can, but if you feel more, I just want to make sure that, and if the council feels like we want to make the modifications as we go instead of one at a time, I got no problem with that either. And I'll pull my motion if that's what we want to do, if that's the easiest way we want to do it. I think there's a lot of things in this thing right here that we need to discuss, so, I'll amend I'll withdraw my motion so we can discuss each line, each item, sort of approve 99 with modifications as defined by council. Something like this, how's that? Okay?
That works,
That's what we'll do.
that works.
Okay.
So if we could consider the motion on the floor,
Yeah, you don't have,
I'll second.
okay?
What is the motion?
the motion.
The motion on the floor, as I understand it, is to approve item G as read, a motion and a second. And then if we choose to modify that, we can modify that line by line.
Line by line, yes. Yeah, with a new total at the end, yes. Okay.
So there's a motion and a second. Now for discussion, let's talk about those line by lines.
All right, we thank you very much for moving that, okay? I would like to go, when I'll go to the next line item, I'll go to 02-201-5075, okay? We've got $100,000 budgeted there, okay? Engineering, ED consultant, city planner, fit technology, and building inspector, okay? 100,000, I think it was explained in the budget committee. Part of that was $12,000 for building inspector. we have, this is me, we have, if you go over to, we got 12,000, to me, this is, we don't need that building, that $12,000. I'd like to reduce that by $12,000 to eliminate that $12,000. That's the way I understand it, the budget committee. Reduce that to instead of 100, make it $78,000.
Okay, for clarification, you're wanting to,
I'm wanting to do away with the notes building inspector, okay?
from what other,
If you go over and look at,
02-203-5015.
520, thank you. We have 12,000 budget there. And so
Under the community
under
development.
community development, yes.
Okay, so the same $12,000 that's 02-203-5015 is not the same $12,000 that is listed in 5075. So what is listed in 5075 is contract labor. What is listed in 5015 would be an employee, okay, would be an employee, a contracted employee. All right, so those are two different things. And because it costs us less to do that contract labor than it would be to have an employee on, then that's the reason, one of the reasons why I have that item in 5075. The $100,000 in 5075 is a combination of several things that I have estimated that we will need coming through the next fiscal year.
One thing, and I understand where you're coming from, but one thing I am going to recommend going on down is, if you want to leave that, if they want to leave this right here, I want to recommend that we do not fill that contract employee this year. And we take that 12, if you leave that in there, then I'm going to recommend that we go to 203-5015, we eliminate that position.
Well, it would come before us to approve the hire anyway.
Well, but still yet, if it's not there, then it's not in the budget. It's not in the budget, it's not in the budget. I just think it's better if you take it out of the budget, because I'm gonna make, so that's one area I think, that's one of the items I'd like to see. I'd like to see that taken out. The next one is, okay, I would like to see and we'll talk about it however way you want to, Mr. Mayor, 02-201-5091.
5091.
Yes, I
Alright.
think you got 500,000, okay? Castle Theater and the Park Pool and 52,000 general maintenance. Park Pool, the Castle Theater, I think it needs to be done, as what you said in the budget meeting, it's a health hazard, needs to be fixed, okay? We need to declare it surplus, and we need to go ahead and destroy it or do what we want to. But the Park Pool, 300,000, is approximately 250 to 300,000, it could be about that. I'd like to see us move that to capital outlay. And my reasoning for that is.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you talking about the capital outlay portion of the
Fund 44.
44.
You're talking about Fund 44?
Yeah,
right?
I would just want to eliminate from the 02, and then when we get to Fund 44, I'll ask to put it in Fund 44.
How would we break it up in Fund 44 not to damage the set budget for the departments?
I don't think you can. We don't have enough money. That's where I'm going. One of my biggest fears about this budget is that when you look at the budget and you look at our numbers, okay, we found $500,000. We found $500,000, which was a great correction. But we went in the hole, and everybody understands that your budget, your fund balance, is what drives your budget. If your fund balance reduces, you can budget 100% of that. So our fund balance, based before we found this 500,000, was down about approximately 189,000. We had to reduce the budget about 600,000. And if you look at our revenues today, our first 2 months' revenues, our revenues are down. Now, we hope that they don't stay down, but it's our job to look and make sure that we have adequate money to do what is. Looking at this budget, the way I look at this budget, and looking at salaries, you show salaries, we got salaries show 7 million, I'll tell you what it is, 7 million, our salaries are 7,045,000 is what they are. Well, if you look at our revenues from last year, 7.4 million was our revenues. So I think right now, in my own little pea brain, that we're going to impact our fund balance before December. Now with the 500,000, it's going to take a little bit longer, but we're going to impact our fund balance before December. And looking at the budget the way it is now with the 500,000, and I'm not the smartest guy in the world, I think our budget next year instead of 9.9, and if our revenues stay the same, we have a 1% deal. I think our budget's going to be about $8.7 million next year. That's how much it's going to impact us. And so one of the things that we have to look at is what it's going to do for the future. And I think you have to look at that as a whole, and this 500,000 was a one-time impact. That's what we did, and the mayor can explain how we got to that, but we're not going to see that next year. So, and if you just take the O2 accounts, the property, you take part of the 500,000, you take the insurance, the property insurance, you also take about all of the 25,000 for Pelivan and stuff like that. Then you take the EDTA, we're at $189,000 already before we get into our maintenance and operation. So if you take the 7.4 million versus the 7 million that we have in salaries and benefits, that doesn't leave much for maintenance and operation. Leaves less than 300,000. We can't afford to hit that. So if we approve this budget, we're going to have to say no to everything that you do. Or if you do, you're going to impact the budget. That's why I think it's got to be done. And then I think we have to this budget and the capital outlay budget has to be reworked. Has to be reworked. I did vote to hire the new person. I did vote for the promotions because I think our officers need more money and stuff like that. But I think our revenues being down and where we're at with this thing, I think we're irresponsible if we approve this budget without making some modifications. And that's why I'm coming with some of these changes. Because I think we'll hit our fund balance, and I will be asking, and I'll ask, and Larry's not even aware of this, but I'll give this to Larry. Here's a report that, Mr. Mayor, that you can look at sometime. There was a report that put out by his office a long time ago. It told us every monthly fund balance. It's key that you don't impact your fund balance. So that's why I'm making these changes. You know, you take out what this is, and we don't take in that much money, we're going to be, Jeff, our accountant, will tell you, and I'll ask Jeff, if we hit our fund, if our revenues, if our expenditures exceed our revenues, then you're going to reduce your budget. And there's no way around that with the way our budget's set up this year, in my opinion. No way around it. We did it last year, we're going to do it this year, in my opinion. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I think there's no way around it. And the last thing I want to see is start cutting back on things. And so that's where I'm at with that. And that's why I'm wanting to make these changes. And that's why we ask about the capital outlay. Capital outlay is another area, but if we choose not to, that's fine. If that's what the council votes to do, that's what the council votes to do. But and that's why I'm coming up with these modifications. So that's where I'm after with this thing, and I'll get off my horse and we'll go forward.
Thank you, Council Trammell.
All right.
Mr. Coker, would you like to come to the microphone and address any of the things that Mr. Trammell has just said?
Well, theoretically, it is correct. If you spend more than you bring in, your fund balance goes down, and that affects next year's budget because we budget 90% of the revenue and 100% of the fund balance. And that gives us our total. And if that fund balance portion is smaller, then generally speaking, unless our revenues grow way up, our budget will go down. I mean, that's just the math. And the question is, I mean, any other questions? I mean, that's just the way it works, so.
So he said that he had spoken to you about some of these modifications.
About, I talked to you about, I talked to you about the fund balance.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
told me.
I'm talking about the fund balance. When I say modifications, I'm talking about the fund balance and that modifications. I haven't spoken to him individually about the modifications.
No, he
I'm
didn't.
talking about the fund balance, what it's gonna do, and my thoughts about the impact of the budget. That's
He
what-
asked me about fund balance and that if the fund balance would go down if we spent more
Yeah.
than we brought in.
Yeah.
Yes. that
Yes,
is
that's
correct.
that's exactly right.
Yes. He didn't ask me about any.
Any specific line,
individuals.
I didn't ask him about any specific line item.
Right.
Yeah, so, yes.
Also, some of these things that I have, some of these changes that I'm proposing today, I have not talked to you about.
Nope.
And so these are items that I've done my math, and you would need to confer, I need to confer with you, and you need to verify some of these things
Okay.
going forward. But there are several things that I've tried to do to increase the value of our general fund going forward. So, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question for Jeff?
But
Council Trammell, if you could, if you would review, if you would call out those items again. I tried to make
Well,
note of those.
all right,
as you
and
were
I'll
speaking.
I'll continue to go, because I've got several. Which nobody,
Are they in the general fund?
yes, this is all general fund.
Very
Okay,
good.
all right.
Thank you.
We're on the, we've already agreed, and we haven't agreed, but you've come up with a deal for the 02, 201, 5043, 5045. That is the insurance, okay?
Right.
My other thing was to eliminate the 15 cal and 507, eliminate the 5075. If you don't want to do that, then I'm going to make a recommendation, the other one.
So so to clarify, on 5075, you're talking about the building inspection part of that?
Yes.
And so you're wanting to amend that to $78,000?
78,000, correct, okay? Then the next one is I want to take 300, I want to move, the Castle Theater is important. You've got 500,000. I would like to amend that to 200,000 and move, and just amend that to 200,000, okay? And I just give you my light, but that won't go there anywhere else, okay? Then if you go to 02, 203, 5014, okay?
203
501.
5014.
Yes.
That's the Community Development Coordinator salary.
Position.
Uh-huh.
I would like to eliminate that right there, position altogether this year. I'm not saying that we don't need it, and it was one of the things we do need, but I don't think we can afford it. I think if you put that in there, it's best that it's not there, and we get the money, figure out the way it is, and when we do, then it'll have to come out of the pay plan. But that position needs to be eliminated also, and so but I'm just saying take out the $59,617. I'm not saying the $65,000, because that comes down to insurance and all that other stuff. You just eliminate it by $59,617, okay? All right? And that's all I have. That's all I have. I know it's hard to believe.
Would you go back to 5043, because I don't think that we specified a number on that. You said 5043.
Is it 5043? Yes.
Insurance fleet.
Insurance fleet, I thought you'd give us the numbers, whatever that was.
I gave you the numbers on the property insurance. I did not give any numbers on fleet.
Okay.
And the fleet, when you divide up the fleet, it's negligible.
Negligible, okay, that's fine. All right, then we just then I'll amend that one just to say, leave that to 23,000, and you take the other one, you're gonna amend the 201, 5045, is what you're going to amend, right?
Correct.
To what you said, back before.
That's correct.
Okay, and so that is my suggested modification, and so.
All right.
And the reasons why we need to do it, because I still think if you leave this stuff in there, and what this is gonna do, this is gonna put more money in our unallocated reserve, okay? All right, that's what it's gonna put. But our unallocated reserve is part of the budget.
That's correct.
That's that's what you fill in your revenues versus your expenditures. So you spend it, your expenses go out, your revenue. We don't know this, but we know our revenues are not gonna be, our revenues only went up about 1.5% last year. And with this COVID crap and everything else shutting down and not being able to get people to work and stuff right there, I don't anticipate, and I'm talking a whole lot of revenue increases next year, which is sad. So we have to watch everything that we do to make sure, because, you know, if you just take the salaries, you gotta come up $588,000 a month. That's what we have to take in just to meet our salaries and benefits. And I think we're pretty well staffed now. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think we've got, young lady we just hired.
Or
We haven't hired.
Well, we haven't, well, we.
proposing to hire.
Well, I thought we,
John Ketcher.
John pulled them off, okay, all right, I didn't, so, but, okay, but the thing is, we're pretty much staffed, so that number there is pretty accurate, and I'm sure the mayor got that from Lisa Malone, who does a great job and figured salaries, benefits, and everything else. So that's pretty accurate number, 7,045, and if you look at our revenues of last year, and our revenues of last year were only 7 point, I'll tell you right now, was only 7.4 million. You know, that doesn't leave a whole lot in maintenance and operation before you start tapping your fund balance. So that's why, and I'll go back, I'm talking too much, but that's where we're at with this thing, so.
You're exactly right about the fund balance.
So,
Exactly right. One of the things I might ask Jeff to do, if you're able to, I'm not sure if this is too much to ask of you, but if I could go through the general fund and point out the changes that are proposed, and then ask you to we'll move on to another item and come back to that, Jeff, rather than asking.
Could we possibly have after we get everything hashed out, what we want to do, if that's what we want to go with, can we possibly, I've got a jillion notes on mine and from the budget, meeting and stuff. Could we possibly just, after we decide what we're going to have, is just please give everybody a clean copy of the correct numbers? I think we'd be better off.
I think
Scribbling all over these things and rubbing them out and scribbling again and rubbing them out, because I've already changed it 3 times and we've only got through one, or going through one deal.
But I don't think you have a choice. I think once you get through tonight, I think that you'll have to have a budget, because I don't know when Jeff has to file it, and Eva has to file it, but it's pretty quick. So.
Yeah, by the end of the month.
By the end of the month. So yeah, I think you'll get a clean copy.
Yeah,
for you.
Sure, we can get a clean copy, but council, if you'd like to follow, make a note on your page if you'd like to. Jeff, we're looking at 201-5045 in the general insurance property. Go back up to unallocated reserves, the 5041, proposing to add $22,995, $22,995. On item 5045, proposing to subtract the $22,995. Okay? Then, on item 5075, change that from 100,000 to 78,000. On item 5091, change that from 500,000 to 200,000. On item 203-5014, change that to 0. Item 203-5015, change that to 0.
No, I didn't say that. I said if you did one, you left. My point there is, Mr. Mayor, is that I think that you need help in that deal You
Yes.
can't do it on, I think you need one of those two positions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, so you need
Okay,
12,000, one of those
okay,
two
we
lines.
need the 12,000 on that one?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not correct, Jeff. Leave that at 12,000 on that 203-5015. Council Trammell, were there any other items?
That's enough, isn't it?
So far.
Mayor, can I say something? I know it's shocking, but I know what his plan is. So if you approve this budget, then he's gonna go after PK and I's money for police and fire out of capital outlay, which, so I kinda asked to hold off on the one before so we can just say something about that.
I was actually gonna bring that up, in discussion. I have concerns that both of those projects need to be taken care of, the pool and the PYO. And I'd had a conversation with Council Trammell about that and looked at the budget. I don't know about moving, 300,000 or 500,000 over to capital outlay, that it won't devastate budgets for the police and fire or other departments.
One of the things.
Concerns about that.
Thank you. One of the things that I know about that item, we're talking about 5091,
Yes.
proposed to change that from 500,000 to 200,000. Both of those items have to be done.
I agree.
Yes.
There's not, we don't have any choice. Both of those items have to be tended to. We already have, you said you wanted to move one of those items over to capital outlay, and the capital outlay budget, we've been working on the capital outlay budget now since April.
Yeah.
And the capital outlay budget is whole. It's whole based on what our projections are. The capital outlay budget, by the way, Council Brakefield, I gave you a wrong number the other night and told you that there would be somewhere around $300,000 that would be left over in that,
Right.
and that is not correct. That is not correct, and so when we get to that item, I would like to correct that. Point being, in 5091, we have to do those items. We have to do those things. We have to deal with Castle Theater. We have to deal with Park Pool. We have our pool subcommittee who have been meeting faithfully and regularly and have a recommendation to make to our park department, park board, regarding what we do with the pool. And we have the ability through this funding from that line item to do both of those things.
I'm not gonna argue with
It
it.
occurred to me that would be the best.
That's what you wanna do, that's what I'm just saying, to do my calculations, if we leave this in here, okay? Our budget next year will probably be about $8.5 million instead of $9.4 million this year, 8.5. So we're gonna go from a $10 million budget 2 years ago to an $8.5 million in 2 years.
So
But
I'm following your calculations.
Yeah.
I'm following your calculations. Could you explain your calculations to?
But that's this council's decision, if that's what you
Yeah.
wanna do, so I'm not,
So that $300,000,
that's council's decision.
yeah,
No.
it is.
That's what's council decision. That's my recommendation, because I want to make sure that we keep an adequate fund balance to fund the city general fund. And I think we're going in the wrong direction. So, but that's y'all's, that's this council's decision. Jeff?
How much was you changed the unallocated, what was it before, I did all this?
Okay, the unallocated reserves was 868-16267.
868-162-167.
Right.
Yes. Is there any other discussion right now in the general fund?
Nope.
Okay, I would like to lay general fund aside and consider item H.
We need a motion to table, lay it on the table until.
Motion to lay on table until later on the meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Motion Thompson, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second Shropshire. Call for vote.
Breakfield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Pitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, shall we consider item H? Discussion possible action regarding 2021, 2022 City of Pryor Creek Street Budget Fund 14. Is there a
I'll make the motion.
Second.
motion, Shropshire, second, Smith. I have one item on street department that I would like to consider changing, and it would be the street insurance property. That would be 141455045, changing the amount $1,482 to $1,621. That changes the total. That changes the total, adds $139 to the total, making the total $2,499,328.69. Discussion on street budget.
I just want to make sure that priority one projects, I don't know, priority one list, sheet one, is that all the ones here in the blue, or is that in the blue or the yellow? What is priority?
Those are
one?
the ones that are listed priority one on that sheet.
Is
So
that-
some of those in blue were priority two.
Okay, probably, so we're just doing the priority one projects, and so, all right, so are they listed? I didn't look, Maze to Maple,
Those are listed on the map that,
okay,
those are listed on the map that's also in the packet.
so they've been identified for this budget for the priority one, as priority one?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes, and
That's all.
those are estimates.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah, but I want to make sure those are identified, the priority one projects are identified.
I'll make sure that you understand that the difference between the blue and the yellow is not necessarily priority one, priority two. The difference between blue and yellow is streets that were recommended by us and recommended by the street committee.
Right.
The ones in yellow were recommended by us but not funded. So
Okay.
it's not, you can see there's two blue ones that are colored blue, there's one yellow above, a couple of blues. So what we did, we took all of the common roads that we recommended for the priority ranking and then what the street committee came up with. And that's the ones that we tried to fund.
So, then,
Does that clarify?
That clarifies, but so when we approve this budget with those modifications, your budget goes from what? Your budget is 2499, so what does it go to?
You're talking about street budget?
Yeah, right now, the budget's 2499,
So, yeah, it adds 139, so with the change of that property insurance item, adds $139 to the bottom line, which makes it 2499328. 2499328.69.
Okay, that's, and this doesn't even have to be filed with the state, this is a, deal.
That's
But
correct.
I would ask that part of whoever made the motion include that as the budget for this year, part of their motion, that's that number there.
Oh, yes, I'll amend.
Would
my
you
motion.
amend your motion to that
Yes.
number?
And I
I
think
think
it's,
that was me.
Yeah, I think it was
Oh.
Shropshire.
Yeah, I'll amend it to that.
Okay.
Confusing, isn't it?
yeah, and I think this is a good budget, I think this is hard work, and I think Buddy Screw does a good job, and you can tell the effects of COVID and stuff like that. We didn't do a whole lot last couple of years because of COVID, and couldn't get some bids and stuff, so I think this is a good budget.
We're glad you approve.
So, motion to amend Shropshire, second Smith.
Yeah.
Did you amend?
Any other discussion? Call for vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Pitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Breakfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item I, discussion possible action regarding 2021, 2022 City of Pryor Creek Cemetery Care Budget Fund 19.
I'll make a motion.
Motion Breakfield,
Second.
second Smith.
Are we gonna, with the dollar figure, you're gonna include the budget number? Or are you just gonna say,
As
I can
printed
Amend it to include the
yeah, I just
budget
get
number.
that, yeah.
at $70,000.
$70,000.
Yeah.
There's been amended to the motion. Is there amendment to the second?
Yes.
Yes. Smith amended the second, adding $70,000 as the total. Discussion? Call for vote?
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Breakfield, Trammell,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item J, discussion possible action regarding 2021, 2022 City of Pryor Creek Golf Fund Budget, Fund 41. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion to, at $482,320.51.
I don't know. Do we have,
There you
Yeah,
go.
there's one at the end.
yes.
$482,320.51. I would like to entertain an amendment to that motion.
did somebody do a second?
Oh, who did the second?
I did.
Trammell seconded. I'd like to entertain an amendment to that motion on line item 414155044, golf insurance. The property insurance would add $3,965 on that line item and would change the total to $486,285.51.
Your motion include that.
So the reason for that was to separate the property insurance out of the general fund and put those three items, street, golf, and rec center, over into those appropriate funds. I believe that was a question, Council Thompson, that you had.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
To move that from the general fund over to the appropriate fund.
Oh, yes, yes.
And that was a question that you had a week ago at budget personnel. So
Okay.
this, pardon me, this was a way to answer that question that you had.
I still have a couple more questions on this one too. We had asked about the golf cart maintenance fees from 13,000 to 21. We kind of need explanation, considering we just bought new carts, why we're upping that amount.
That maintenance fee is the contract CMS has to maintain the carts at 10% of the revenue, which takes care of all the washing the carts, sanitizing, getting them ready to go right back out. So that's the maintenance fee.
So the more revenues that we have, then
Correct.
the
So
more
like,
that fee will be.
You know, revenue, I don't know the exact cart revenue, but it's like 297,000 a few years ago. Last year it's 500 or 460 something thousand. So as our revenue goes up, those maintenance fees goes up. Same thing as our tax. When, you know, the more money we run through at the register, then the taxes is, we pay a lot more tax. So.
Does that go back to you? The maintenance fees?
Yeah, we pay the personnel to take care of the golf carts. Course management system pays the personnel to take care of those.
Okay.
We can pay them with less money than the city can. So,
With this increase, are those employees getting that increase?
they work more hours. So the hours go up. So, you know, like if when business is slow, it only takes 4 or 5 hours of work every day. And then our busy days now, it's taking 9 hours of work. So we're having people out there work 9 hours just cleaning the carts, getting them ready, because When we're really busy, the carts, they come in, they get cleaned, they go right back out. And on a
So-
busy day, so.
That cart maintenance fees, that could probably actually be considered a wage of sorts.
Yeah, I mean, however you wanna look at it, it's wages for the people to clean the
Money.
carts,
Okay,
is what that is.
that makes it a little
Right,
clearer for
yeah,
me.
that's where that money goes, is wages for people to clean the carts.
Okay,
Yep. And we gotta clean more carts, so.
they're using
take-
it more.
They're using them more, it's great, you know, it's, so.
Any more questions for Dennis?
I don't.
Nope.
Thank you very much.
So did we amend the total?
So the amended total is $486,285.51.
Yes, I'll amend it to that. I did already.
Yes, I believe you did. And who was the second?
Trammell.
Trammell?
Trammell, very good. Any other discussion? Call for vote?
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item K, discussion and possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Capital Outlay Fund Budget Fund 44. Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Motion Brakefield, second Thompson. The calculation that I had made a week ago was incorrect. The total in the fund, if calculations of revenues turn out to be correct, we'll have in the fund at the end of 2022 about $33,714 if we do the capital outlay budget as is presented.
33,000?
$33,714.
That's what worries me, because when you walk into this, it's like this year, we're starting with whether you don't have a motion yet, you don't think you have a motion, so.
Yeah, we do.
Do you?
Yeah, we have motion, this is discussion.
All right, that's what worries me, because you got 450,000 in fund balance today, according to the sheet. We'll take in about another 500 and some thousand. You got about $1 million coming in, okay? We got car payments to do. You know, I don't know when they're due, I don't know when they're scheduled to be done, so. Like this year's budget, you got $450,000, okay? We have to be careful how we spend money. Gotta watch it, it's going on a cash fund, because we've only $450,000. If we go in there and start spending a whole lot of money, the way it is now,
So I chose to use a calculation of fund equity rather than fund balance on that,
okay, so, but that's what,
which is lower than the fund balance is.
okay, and so, but regardless which way it's a little below, you're right. But my point is, your monthly cash flow, you can't overspend your monthly cash flow. And so anytime, something happens, and we spend more money here, it's gonna come out of the fund balance of the city. I just, you know, and I asked today, and I just got this list today from James, or Dennis, called Dennis, of this Pryor Police Department, $288,000, you know, we got the lease, you know, and fire truck. I'm not saying that we don't need all these items. But what I am saying is that capital outlay is important to every department. And once you start taking it down to zero, you're asking for problems in the future in case something comes up. So if we have a wreck, we need another car, or something like that. You know, and a few years ago, we had three wrecks. We had to go buy 3 cars. Start spending the money, it's not there to spend, go get a lease. So, this is council's decision. I think that some of this stuff needs to come off of this thing, you know, I don't think we need to ever go below 350,000 in our capital outlay to start off with in a year. But that's me personally, I'm a little anal about stuff like that. I think that some of these things could be put off a year. I've talked to BK, and BK doesn't agree with me. I think you could take his fire truck, put 75,000 over into account for next year, and move it to next year. but BK will never agree with that. I think you could take part of this, I would like to ask James how much of this 200, the lease of this 200,000 is actually stuff that you have to have or you don't operate as a city, you know what I'm saying? And I understand it, but I'm just concerned about the overall welfare of the city and how we operate the funds and funds we go. I'm not saying they don't need it, but I'm just saying you gotta watch the money. So I am not, if that's what we wanna do, this is what you wanna do, that's fine. I just think like 450,000 now, and we got stuff, we're buying stuff now. You're gonna have to be real careful on what you spend, and next year, and if you gotta have I don't know when it's due, the lease payment is due, you gotta have money in that, or it has to come out of the general fund, O2. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not willing to approve this capital outlay budget the way it sits here without making some modifications. Personally, that's me, but that's just me personally. So,
Well, my 2 cents is, we'll save some money. That PYO has sat there this long. Why not let it sit another year and pull that money out of there?
well, I think,
Because
health
it's a
hazard.
health hazard, and if you lived right next door to it,
yeah, it's out there.
it's health hazard. We have to do
But
something
I'm,
with it.
okay, but I'm looking at, swimming pool to me is a higher priority than that. And to make sure we don't start cutting from police and fire.
But it's a health hazard. Mr. Mayor will tell you, it is a health hazard. I wouldn't, it's like Larry said, Mr. Mayor said at the deal. He wouldn't let anybody in it, and it's about black mold. And if it was somebody else's property in town, we'd already hired Zach Doyle to go in and clean it up and make them tear it down. Yeah, we would have done that. And I think that needs to come down, because that is definitely a health hazard, and we've got people right there beside it, and so that's where we're at with it. But anyway, that's where we're at with it. That's my opinion, and that's just exactly what it is.
What are your suggestions to adjust, because I'm going over this and I'm not seeing a way to adjust this, and also add your suggestion of putting the PYO or the pull over into the capital outlay and still have enough to function?
To me, you need to me, it's like what I said, and you're not gonna get there. To me, you take, my suggestion was, is take 75,000, take 150 out of the fire department, put 75,000 over in that fund count, then buy a fire truck next year, because he's gonna have more money coming out of there, okay, for the county. And that's one suggestion, instead of 150, 175. You're not gonna get, then I would ask James and the police department to go back and see how much of that 200,000 they could cut back on some of that stuff, where they can or can't. And the wall repairs have to be done at the shelter, okay? I would delay the pickup, and I would delay the $60,000 on the golf course at this point in time, because I think the PYO and some of these other things are more important than the house raising of the golf course. We've done that right there for that long, and we're not gonna get 300,000, but we're gonna get to closer than what we are now.
So so all of these items on the capital outlay proposed budget are certainly needed.
Yes.
There are ways to tweak that.
Yes.
There are ways to tweak that.
So-
And I would propose that we approve the capital outlay budget and tweak those items as we have need.
I would like to hear from James and BK, these budgets are developed for them and their departments, and just see
What are you whispering about?
So I just want to start with like one quick fact real quick. Mr. Trammell, so on the capital outlay from last year, if I'm reading these numbers right, I know I'm not very good at this, but so if there was 1.1 million spent and there was 468,000 unexpended, correct? If you look at page 33.
You're on page 33 of the budget.
Yes, sir. No, I'm sorry, of the expenditures. Is this called the financial report? Is that what this is?
I have a different name for it every time I ask for it.
Hang on, let me,
So,
let me find it.
so you're on the capital outlay, page.
Page 32, capital outlay, we had, right here, if anybody wants to know, what was you saying?
I just want to make sure that we agree that the numbers for the unexpended out of the capital outlay for last year was 468, 431.05. Make sure we don't have different papers.
Right now, the unexpended, where it is, 450,233.19 is what I.
450, 233.19 is correct.
Okay, so my numbers are gonna be a little bit off, because I got this from Eva a couple, like last week.
If you got it last week, it would be a little.
Okay, so we're just gonna go off of my number, if you will, the 468. Out of that, the unexpected for police and fire was 367,943. Because we were asked mid-year to hold on to our money and not spend to save the city money. So that is, just based off the 367 with the 468, that's 79% of what's left over is out of police and fire. And now you want us to hold on again, and we're taking the hit again. I'm not saying we don't need the pool, and I'm not saying we don't need the PYO tore down. I get
Where you getting your numbers of 368? Because I don't see, I
If you
see.
take the unexpended from police and fire on capital outlay, and you add those two together, you should get 367,943.
Let me find it, because I show the unexpended right now from last year, police is 147,253.
And I showed 139, so our numbers would be like.
Well, I'm just saying, and then you got the fire capital outlay, we did not, I don't know what the 263,000, we budgeted 263, I don't know what that was for.
But my point is, fire department.
I agree, I agree with you.
So what we did is we drew our reins in.
Yeah.
And we chose not to spend, and so.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these things that you're saying that we don't need because it's not for the building on our paper is stuff that we're trying to make up for last year that we didn't get last year. And so some of that, we are looking forward to the building, you know, with the lease. Yeah, we have that, but it's also stuff that we keep putting it off, that we're just gonna put it in this building now because the building's getting farther out. So it's not stuff that we don't need. I'm just saying we're trying to hold off and put it in the new building. But if that.
So you're saying you're buying stuff now for the new building?
I'm saying some of it, like the voice recorders and the stuff that we're trying to hold off, that we're anticipating, but we're
Some
gonna
of
have
it
to have.
takes a really long lead time.
My question is, then, if you're trying to buy the voice recorder for the new building, the new structure, okay, and I don't know what else is on here, and there's probably some other stuff, why is that not coming out of the bond fund?
Because the way that it was voted is that that's not, and that's all we've had to plan forward a couple of years further.
Well, I don't, let me ask, and I'd like to ask Jeff, because to me, that's part of, to me, again.
Pardon me, Mr. Trammell, Jeff is busy.
But that's part of your building, that is part of, and I may be, but if you build a building, okay, and you have to have a voice recorder to operate the jail cells, that ought to be part of the construction and the operation of the building, to me. Now, I may be wrong, but to me, that ought to be part of that.
And I think when we looked at that building, we were talking 10 million, then we started making cuts, and then it was like, well, what can we get on our own to make it?
And we may have, and you may be right, so.
We were at 10 million at one time, and we were told, we can't do it.
Okay.
So we're not gonna do it.
So then, if you tell me today that you gotta have both of them, I'm not gonna argue with you, but I'm just gonna say we'll have to watch it. Then I'm gonna suggest we just cut then I'll ask BK about the fire truck here in just a minute. I'm gonna suggest we cut the 95,000 out of it and go on.
95,000
Out of it,
Out of the 150?
out of the 150, the building inspector for the pickup and the golf capital outlay 60, that's 95,000. We reduce it by that.
But BK took a bigger hit last year than we did.
I understand, but leaving the BKs alone. I'm saying leaving BKs alone.
Do what?
I'm saying right now, if you all have convinced me. Yeah. You have convinced me that you need this, okay? So I'm not gonna argue about the 288,000, but we have to be real careful when we spend it, okay? Then now I'm gonna
I
ask.
think they're aware of that.
And then the other thing is, I think BK says he wants 150 for a fire truck. I've got no problem with that. Go ahead and put it over there and be done.
Mr. Trammell, Mr. Coker is responding to your call.
Yeah.
What are you saying was the fund balance to begin with?
Fund balance to get per the report, right, I have right here, right now. The fund balance and the capital outlay, okay?
Yeah.
Per right now was 450,233.19.
No.
That's what I have on this.
487.65.
No, see,
23?
actually what you're looking at is the 287, the 487 is before the.
That's last year's.
Oh, yeah, and so you subtract out the 148, so actually your fund balance is 338.
338,
Okay, that's,
408.
okay, the report, it's what, 3 what?
338.
It's that number right above the number that you're looking at.
I don't have a 338.
It's the fund equity number, 338.
Mine doesn't show that.
408.
Mine doesn't show that. My report does not reflect that number.
Okay, how
I
about
kept that from you.
338, 408, 12?
Yeah, mine doesn't reflect that number.
Okay. so-
Mine reflects 450.
I mean,
Oh,
When
He
did
he doesn't have the same.
okay. All right. But
It's
so,
hard to be on the budget committee and you get all these updates. You never
338.
see.
so, we're-
Okay, so here's, yeah.
I don't have that. Mine shows 450, okay? That's what I show. My report's dated 7/7. I don't know what date your report's dated.
June 30th.
June 30th, okay. So anyway, so
That's weird.
bottom line is, I'll leave the fire truck in and leave James's thing in there, and I'll make the recommendation that we just remove the building inspector and the house, 90,000, leave everything else the way it is. We'll have to be real close and tight, watch what we're at, 'cause
I think the big thing we're all trying to do is, we don't wanna see a layoff in 2 more years.
No, sir, and I don't either, just like our newest truck's a 13, so it's 8 years old, 10 to
Yeah.
15 is the lifespan on, so the second's 12 years old, then we
Yeah.
have 14 years old, 23 years old. And every year we try to save, I mean, that's our thing, we save, we don't go to lease programs, we save up for that. And I know Jeff's not, but Ron used to always talk about that money we set aside through fire runs, capital and stuff like that's over here, we can use it if we need to, but that kinda affects us. If we're building an 8-year, 10-year program, and then we get to where we're right there, I just called today and they're right at 700,000 for a new engine, so we're right there with 150. With the county's money and everything else.
Well, you get county money every month, so you could just push this off and just squeeze a little more.
Spending more on, 'cause then our brush trucks,
I-
2000, 2001, 2006 year.
What I will say on the fire is, and this is, and you correct me if I'm wrong, okay, is that the age of the trucks and the capacity of trucks affects our ISO rating on a 5-mile radius. So if you don't have good
I'm gonna
equipment.
take it away from him.
Yeah, and I want to take it away from him, and I want to, so here's Terry's deal. Jimmy Trammell wants to raise everybody's fire insurance rates because he wants to take the money.
You just
So,
got a new headline.
got a new headline. But my point is, we just have to watch it close. My suggestion then is, Mr. Mayor, is we just remove, I'm still,
Well, we don't have to approve that.
you know, this is a fluid budget. I would still like to see the PYO, I mean, the
Pool.
pool out of this, but if we choose not to, that's fine with me. And
My,
so,
my concern with that is I don't know how we're gonna do that.
well, so you just, you know, you're gonna have to, if you take, it's 90,000 and you got $1 million, it's not possible. I can tell you right, it's not feasible to do with numbers. You know, Jeff can do a lot of things with numbers, and, because he's an accountant, but he can't
So
make up.
Leave it where it is.
Leave it where it is and let the chips fall where they may.
Start in the, I mean, obviously.
But I think our budget will be impacted next year because of it.
The only
Tremendous.
thing I asked Mr. Trammell is that in the past, we had a lovely mayor that said that we were gonna have layoffs and people were gonna lose insurance, and then we lost employees anticipating that. So I hope that we change our verbiage and the threats in the future to say that, you know, we're working together on this, and I get that, but we've lost some good employees on a drop of a dime because of threats in the past. So if we need to change that, tweak that a little bit, that would
And I'll tweak my version, but I'll tell you right now, it's reality. It is a reality when you go from 10 million budget to 9 million budget to 8 million budget, and you have 7 millions in your salaries and benefits. That's a reality. That's a reality, and so you can't. And our job up here is to look not but this year, is to look 3 years down the road. You hope that your revenues go up, like Jeff said, but that's where you're at with this thing. But right, and that's the reality, and we don't like it. We're not in a position like a lot of towns are. They can budget up to, I think it's 10% more than their revenues. Now, I never want to get into that position, but that's called the new Budget Act. You can go budget 10% more than your revenues.
We don't need to go there.
We don't need to go there, but that's where a lot of people do. My point that is, a reality is, our job is to make sure that we have the money, and if something happens, we get it. But you gotta make sure that 2 years down the road, that you can maintain what you have, because you don't want somebody that way. You're right. And I'll tweak my, but my verbiage, but that's where that's the reality of it.
I think we can find it somewhere else besides taking away from police and fire.
Well, so,
So we have discussed quite a bit on the Fund 44, item K. The proposed amount on that's $905,900. Would you like to amend your motion to include that total?
I just have a question, if we have another second,
Yes.
about the condition of the mobile home and the golf, raising the house. What's the issue exactly with that?
I guess I could speak, I don't think Dennis Bowman's still here. The house is in terrible condition. The house is in, we have done things like put a roof on it. We've done some things to repair it. We have to have somebody on site, somebody who lives on site. The most economical thing to do that I have found is to take the house down and to put a mobile home or motor home, no, not a motor home, but a mobile home out there on site. And that would be the most economical thing to do, and we would still accomplish being able to have somebody on site, living on site at the golf course. That was put into the budget in last year's budget. We did not spend that money last year. But that is something that is inevitable that we're either going to need to throw money at a structure and renovate the structure and spend much more money renovating that structure than we would spend taking the structure down and providing a mobile home there for somebody to live in.
What is in his contract? Is the contract not for the not for them to update or upkeep on that house? What is
No, we own, city owns the house.
but I thought there's some kind of agreement in the contract that they were supposed to upkeep something.
As would be normal.
Sorry, I have that.
As would be normal to occupy
Right.
the residence.
Do you not recall
Yeah.
anything with,
I think somebody has to live there for.
well, I know
Yeah.
that, but as far as the upkeep of the home.
I don't recall, I'd have to look at the contract. No.
I feel like there's something that stated that there's something that they were supposed to maintain. So, just curious why it's,
I'm sorry, I don't have that in front of me.
Do you have a number of what's gonna cost to move in a mobile home?
The estimate is $50,000 for the mobile home and to move it in.
I guess the plan is, as soon as you tear down the house, you're gonna move that in there?
Yes.
Can you not move a mobile home in and then delay tearing down the house? So you still got someone living on the property?
You put the mobile home in the space where the
Where you gonna
house,
put the mobile home at?
in the space where the house is right
You
now.
can't squeeze it up as close as you can?
You gotta understand, you're dealing with Corps of Engineers.
Did you give the fire department some practice out there?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
does
think-
it
I
have
think
to be a
Burn that
brand
sucker
new one?
down and then, you can, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Training.
I'm not sure we need to go that direction.
We solved it.
That's legitimate training.
Save 10,000.
It doesn't have to be a.
We've had sufficient discussion on on this item. Is there any more discussion? Call for vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
No.
Thompson,
Yes.
Hitcher.
Yes.
Motion carries. I'd entertain a 5-minute recess.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know, it'd be safe for me to go on recess in the hall.
5-minute recess.
There's too many of them in the hall, and he's coming up here taking.
Item L on your agenda, item L. Discussion possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Real Property Acquisition Reserve Fund Budget, Fund 46. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion,
What's the amount?
Shropshire, $230,000. Motion Shropshire, is there a second?
Second.
Second Smith, discussion.
I'm trying to get there.
Okay, I'm trying to find it too.
That's the 46 fund.
Last page.
I've got too many papers. James got me for
Oh, okay. James got you flustered.
Yeah. 200.
Mr. Trammell, did you drop your papers on the floor?
I must have dropped something on the, it's 200, I'd like to amend it, I'd like to see amend it to reflect the amount, 230, whatever that is.
Motion to amend the motion,
I'd like, whoever made the motion to amend it to reflect the.
200, that would be Shropshire and Smith.
Make the motion to do what?
Amend it to the actual dollar amount.
Amend the motion to the actual dollar amount of $230,000.
Okay, I'll amend my motion.
Second.
And
You could just make that motion from now on.
Okay.
that's true.
I didn't make the motion.
Okay. Is there a discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Hitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
No, she's, still looking. 84, 44. Well, I found it. Yeah, recreations. I got a lot of questions on that one.
Council, I would like to change the order again and move down to item number Z, item number Zulu. This is a motion regarding the hiring of Jessica Flood. She has been here, she is her first time here. She's been very patient with us, and our time is moving forward, so
Can
It
I
would
ask,
be
did
appropriate.
we vote, did we vote on that last motion?
On L?
Yeah.
On L? We did, okay. I remember you going fine.
You guys voted yes, by the way.
Yeah.
yes. We can move to item Z, discussion possible action regarding hiring Jessica Flood to fill vacant patrolman position at the Pryor Creek Police Department at Range J, Step 2, annual wage $43,561, effective on or before October 1st, 2021. Jessica is CLEAT certified per Article 33, Section 4 of the Collective Bargaining Agreement, and is eligible for Step 2. This position was left vacant by resignation of Dylan Wright. Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion, Ketcher, second, Smith. Discussion?
Have you already been through the certification for, I'm sure you have, you complete certified for retirement? Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I'm also on the pension already.
Okay, good.
Other discussion? Well, future Patrolman Flood, welcome. We're glad you're here. Thank you for coming tonight. This is an interesting meeting. It is not always this way.
Just
But as you
this
can
time
tell,
every year.
Yes.
We have fun together, so. Call for vote.
Smith,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Hitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Motion carries. Welcome aboard. Item M, discussion and possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Recreation Center Fund Budget, Fund 84. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion Brakefield, second Smith. Discussion. I would like to offer an amendment on item number 5044, property insurance. That amount is $17,409. That changes the subtotal on from 1.425,117,32. It adds $2,247, makes that subtotal $1,427,300. $364.32. That puts the rec center total as the 2247 to the total, makes the total $1,758,224.40. Is there other discussion on the rec center budget?
So we have a motion and a second.
We need to
We have a motion and a second.
We need to amend our
We would need to amend that motion to accept these new numbers as presented.
Breakfield made the motion and Smith seconded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, let me look at this real quick.
Okay?
Okay, yeah, I'll amend my motion.
Second.
Motion is amended by Brakefield, second by Smith. Other discussion? Call for vote.
Breakfield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Item N, discussion possible action regarding the 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek Public Works Authority Fund Budget, Fund 88. Is there a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. That total is $41,956. Discussion.
No amendment on this one.
Doesn't have to be. Call for vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Breakfield,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item O, discussion possible action regarding 2021-2022 City of Pryor Creek E911 Fund Budget, Fund 91. Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Second.
Motion Brakefield, second Smith. The total is $23,500. Please, please note that in the general fund, there is an E91 expense line item, item 201-5280. Because we are not able to completely fund that out of revenues, then requires for us to operate that, requires to supplement that from the general fund. Therefore, that $23,500 is supplemented then by item 201-5280 in the amount of $11,000, and that brings us to be able to fund that completely.
And that will always be impacted because that money comes from, telephone, landlines.
Comes from landlines.
And so landlines are gonna go away, so.
And
Yeah.
even supplementing that from the
For-
general
yeah,
fund
we-
is still.
we supplement it every, from now on, we always will. It'd be nice if we could just put that over there underneath the police, make those line items as 911 and get rid of this and just move the revenue over there too. It'd be nice if we could do that sometime. Just call these, and sort of put this all in O2, you know, if that's possible. I don't know. That's something we might ought to look at, budget committee. Put in O2, that way it'd be easier to track and you have each line item that way. I don't know if it's possible, but you can look at it and see, so.
Yeah, at this point, it works fine the way it is.
And I'd like to see amend the motion to include the 23,500.
I'll amend
Even though it's not required because it's a cash fund basically, but I'd like to include it.
Okay, would you like to amend the motion, Ms. Brakefield?
Yes, I'll amend my motion.
And Mr.
Second.
Smith amends the motion to include 23,500. Call for vote.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Breakfield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Item P,
We're gonna go back to those
Do we
two.
need to go back to the,
We go back to two that we laid on the table.
Thought you said it was
no,
after.
we're gonna do that after P.
All right.
So item P, discussion possible action regarding 2021, 2022 City of Pryor Creek COVID reimbursement fund, Fund 05. Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
me, I'll second.
want to include the amount.
Oh, so that is,
That is your, the new account,
I don't have that. I didn't get
Do you
a
want
copy
to
of that.
include the
but I
amount?
don't have a copy of that.
I didn't
Does
get,
anybody have a copy of that in their
No.
packet?
I do not have a
no.
Of the what?
Then, since we do not have a copy of that in the packet, I would entertain a motion to table until next meeting.
I'll change it to table.
Shropshire makes a motion to table, or amends motion to table. Is there a second? To table.
I'll second.
Motion and seconded to table until next meeting. Call for vote.
Hitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right.
All my pages are mixed up too.
Yeah. But you're sitting with me.
Right. Thanks.
All right, let's go back to item G. Mr. Coker, if you could come to the microphone. We delayed item G until this point. Item G, discussion possible action regarding 2021, 2022 City of Pryor Creek General Fund Budget Fund 02. Could you share with us with the changes that were spoken of?
Well, the unallocated now would be 1,272,774.67.
Do you mind repeating that one more?
Sure.
time? Sorry.
1,272,774.67.
Okay.
Okay, and, now, I don't know if I have the latest budget either, but I came up with a general fund total of $9,912,645.14. I think there may have been a few minor changes that I don't have on here, but that's close.
And what was that again, sir?
9,912,645.14.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're still in discussion on the general fund.
Yes.
Is there any other discussion?
No.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Hearing none, call for vote.
Now, is this, is this with, what changes, does this, we decide, I want to make sure we're clear that we're leaving the,
Okay, I will go over what changes I made. That
That's
includes
what-
that extra money, the 500 or close to $500,000.
Right.
Okay. We took 22,995 out of 201,5045.
hang on, let me find that. Let me find that
Okay.
sheet.
We changed,
Go on.
okay,
I gotta find my sheet, Jeff.
okay.
That's it. We took the 5045, right?
Right.
Okay.
We took 22,995 out of there.
Okay,
We made line 5075, 78,000,
all right.
okay? 5091, we made that 200,000.
No, we did not, did we?
Yes, we did.
Did we?
I thought
Yes,
that's
we
what we
did.
did.
Oh, we did, okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. And then we changed 203-5014 to 0. And as far as I know, those were the only changes that we had discussed here.
That's what I have, listed.
Okay, all right.
I think that's right.
Very good.
Okay, that's,
Okay.
I'm still confused a little bit because
So we left 200,000 in the 5091.
we do.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Yes.
So how are we going to, if we left 200, how are we going to fund, where are we gonna get the other 300,000 to pay for the Castle Theater, the park pool?
I would propose that we would take that out of unallocated reserves
Sounds great.
once we get there.
Oh, unallocated reserves, well, again, that impacts our, that unallocated, we can do that. That's one of the, okay, that's fine. Never
So-
mind, go ahead, Jeff, yes,
It doesn't really matter.
doesn't really matter,
Out
no,
of
go ahead.
there, if you take it
Yeah,
out of.
okay, that's
out of-
fine.
So,
I just wanna make sure that everybody understands that this, even though we got $1.2 million in an unallocated reserve, if our revenues, if our expenses exceed our revenues, no matter what, your fund balance is gonna go down. your budget's gonna go down. So no matter what. So anyway, I just wanna make sure everybody understands that.
And I think everybody is going to be paying attention to
Okay, all right. Because that's the key to this thing. Okay, sounds good.
By the way, since we're camping there a little longer, that $200,000 is not a number to demolish the Castle Theater. That is an estimated number to renovate the Castle Theater so that it's not a health hazard. That does not do anything, that number does not do anything to renovate it for public use. All it does is mitigates the health hazard.
Well, and I understand it, but I would hope that this council, sometime in the future, that we put before the council to possibly turn it over and tear it down. Because instead of mitigating, instead of spending $200,000, we spend $100,000 to tear it down and go forward, and hopefully somebody buys it and do something else before we do. That's this council's decision later on, so, yes. Before we spend $200,000 on it.
Is there other discussion? Hearing none, call for vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher.
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll now move back to item E.
F.
I'm sorry, pardon me, item F. Discussion and possible action regarding the proposed City of Pryor Creek 2021-2022 pay plan. This proposed pay plan incorporates a 3% cost of living increase and incorporates the changes noted on ranges B, C, Q, R, and as range U. Ratification of this pay plan makes the effective date of the plan July 1st, 2021. Is there a motion?
I make a motion but I want to amend it to take out what we did on Q, take that position out on Q, so I don't know how you want to do that, Mr. Mayor, because we eliminated that position. Q, we've got the Community Development Director underneath there, so why do we need that position if we eliminated that position, part of the budget?
That would be correct, Mr. Trammell.
So,
I'll second.
Motion to amend, Trammell, second by Thompson, amend to remove item Q from the pay plan. Is there discussion? Hearing none, call for vote.
Nance,
yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Ketcher.
Yes.
Sorry. Skipped him.
Motion carries. Item Q, excuse me. Discussion and possible action regarding street rehabilitation project for 2021 to include the number one ranking projects as proposed by the city engineer and recommend by street committee in the amount of $498,544 from proposed budget line item 141455410. Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Motion, Brakefield. Second, Smith. Discussion.
This include engineering fees and all that other stuff?
Yes.
Okay, all right, sounds good to me.
Other discussion? Call for vote?
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson, Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Item R, discussion and possible action regarding accepting bid from Chubb Implement Company for Rhino Boom Arm Mower for the Pryor Creek Street Department at state bid price of $9,860.50 from Street Capital Outlay Account 141455411. Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion Ketcher, second Smith. Discussion.
I don't know who pulled it off. Who pulled it off?
Pardon me?
I think Jimmy
Who pulled
did.
it off?
I pulled it off because I want to make sure we had to pass the budget first.
Oh, okay.
That's why I did.
Other discussion?
Buddy informed me that the reason for this is their current one is obsolete and they can't get parts
I just
for
want
it.
to make sure we get.
Just
budget approved
note
before we-
worthy.
That's correct. They've gotten good service out of it. Call for vote?
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
I'm all right. I'm getting whipped here, the deal.
Trammell, did you vote yes?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Brianna's giving me a hard time right here. I've messed up all of her paperwork, and so look at my thing.
Thompson,
Yes.
Kitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item S, discussion and possible action regarding accepting bid from Chubb Implement Company for zero-turn mower from the Pryor Creek Street Department in the amount of $3,199. Thank you very much, Mr. Powell, for saying, as in the best interest of the city, from Street Capital Outlay Account 141455411. Other bids received, Springdale Tractor Company, $4,058. P&K Equipment, $2,999. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Shropshire, second Smith. Discussion.
Can you ask, I think we need to include in the motion, we're not taking the low bid. Why are we not?
Is the best interest.
I understand it, but we need to make that, that needs to be part of the, I think in the past, we've always required that, and that means in the best interest of the city, that we don't take the bet, we're not accepting the low bid.
So that is
That is.
listed in the motion.
Is it?
As
Yes,
it
it
is,
is.
as in best interest of the city.
And
That's it, okay.
And as
Thank you
another-
very much.
As another note, Buddy informed me that we originally ordered a 48-inch, and they upgraded us to a 54-inch for the
I got
same price.
I got no problems, it's fine. I just didn't say.
I'm just making a note that we're getting a bigger mower for the
Sounds good.
same amount of money.
All right, fantastic. I just didn't read it.
Call for vote?
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Kitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item T, discussion and possible action regarding promotion of Trent Humphrey from Corporal Range K, Step 4, to Sergeant Range L, Step 4, annual wage $55,075 at the Pryor Creek Police Department, effective August 21st, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in the 2021-2022 budget. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion, Ketcher, second Smith. Discussion.
Chief.
Recognize Chief Nichols.
I'd just like to say tonight that in my 48 years in law enforcement, we're really living in challenging times for police officers. And I'm really proud of the officers that we have at the department. I think they all do a wonderful job, and I think they're all capable of it. Technology changes, laws change, values change, and so we're constantly in a change mode. And I do appreciate each and every one of them. And any time that we have a promotion that comes up and comes available, I really take that serious. I look at it hard, and there are going to be disappointed people during promotions. You're not going to be able to please everyone. So again, I look at everything. I look at their job performance, the way they interact with the public, the way they do their reports, the way they interact with other officers. There's a number of things that I look at when I make a recommendation for a promotion. And I don't always pick the one with the most seniority or the most years, because in my opinion, there are other people within the department that are more capable of handling those things. And I know I've had some of my people say to me, Chief, how come you don't go eat with these guys? And I purposely don't go socialize with people individually because I don't want them to think that I'm playing favorites. So again, I try to look at all these areas before I make a decision or make a recommendation to you for a promotion. And again, we have an excellent police force, and I'm proud of each and every one of the officers that are at the department. And I would encourage them all to constantly strive to do better and to make the police department and the city of Pryor more professional, well-respected place. And I think we are well-respected in the law enforcement community. But again, if you have any other questions on promotions, I will try to answer them as best I can. But again, I look at a number of different things when I'm considering a promotion. And it's not just your time, but other things are taken into consideration. But time is taken into consideration. That's one of the areas.
So, going to that, the officer that I talked to you earlier in the day about, when I asked did he have any bad paper, you know, in his record, and you said no. And, any counseling, you said yes, but was any of that documented?
Again, I don't know that's proper at this point to me to talk personnel issues.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't think that's
That-
appropriate.
Thank you, Chief. That
You're right.
would be proper.
You're right, my bad. My thing was is you got a 12-year veteran and a 3-year veteran, and he seemed to be instrumental in some things. And I thought, you know, can't be a slacker if he's doing this over here, why he would be overlooked.
And again, we have guys that excel in one area, but they may be weak in other areas. But that's not to say that I don't appreciate, and I do appreciate the job that those individuals do in that area. Some people excel at certain areas, others not quite as well. But again, I have to take in the whole ball of wax before I make a decision on a recommendation.
It's not fun, is it?
No, no. Again, it's kind of lonely at the top sometimes. Like I said, I don't go eat with the guys because I might go as a group, but I try not to go individually because I don't want people to think that I'm playing favorites, because I try not to. I try to encourage and value each and every employee. Any other questions?
Chief Nichols, thank you very much.
Thank you.
In that, I'd like to lump the other ones together to vote on, if that's all right.
You can't.
Can't?
No, protocol not allow us
Okay.
to do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Council Catcher. Any more discussion? Call for vote?
Thompson,
Yes.
Kitcher,
Yes?
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Item U, discussion and possible action regarding promotion Dustin Van Horn from Corporal Range K, Step 4 to Sergeant Range L, Step 4, annual wage $55,075 at the Pryor Creek Police Department effective August 21, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in 2021-2022 budget. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion Catcher, second Shropshire. Discussion. Call for vote?
Kitcher,
Yes?
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item V, discussion and possible action regarding promotion of Jared Vance from Corporal Range K, Step 4 to Sergeant Range L, Step 4, annual wage $55,075 at the Pryor Creek Police Department, effective August 21, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in 2021-2022 budget. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Catcher, second Smith. Discussion? Call for vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Kitcher,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item W, discussion possible action regarding promotion of Justin Allen from Corporal Range K, Step 3 to Sergeant Range L, Step 3, annual wage $48,448 at the Pryor Creek Police Department effective August 21st, 2021. The promotion has been budgeted in the 2021-2022 budget. Motion?
Motion.
Motion Smith. Is there a second?
Second.
Second Catcher. Discussion? Call for vote?
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Kitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item X, discussion possible action regarding promotion of John Stanglin from Patrolman Range J, Step 3 to Corporal Range K, Step 3, annual wage $47,316 at the Pryor Creek Police Department effective August 21st, 2021. This promotion has been budgeted in the 2021-2022 budget.
Motion.
Second.
Motion Catcher, second Smith. Discussion. Call for vote?
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Kitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Item Y, discussion and possible action regarding promotion Billy Frazier from Patrolman Range J, Step 3, Corporal Range K, Step 3, annual wage $47,316 at the Pryor Creek Police Department effective August 21st, 2021. Promotion has been budgeted 2021-2022 budget. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion Nance, second Smith. Discussion. Call for vote?
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Hitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Item AA, discussion possible action regarding expenditure in the amount of $3,379.77 to unmanned vehicle technologies for the purchase of a Mavic 2 Pro drone with accessories for Pryor Creek Police Department and police vehicle equipment donations account 969655510. This is a state contract price and will be used as in accident investigations. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion Smith. Is there a second?
Yes, I'll second.
Second Thompson?
What about the training for the, it's gonna take training, we're gonna send somebody out to train, we're gonna have to have some training on this. I know there's gonna be some other things with this thing, correct?
Yes, I'll talk to Garrett, and I think Captain Campbell's already been to a little bit of it, but yeah, they'll further on
Okay.
their investigations.
Don't you have to have an FFA license to fly that?
Part of it, but they're changing some of that, you do not have to,
Okay.
have to have the license.
Okay. I knew that GRDA got some and they all had to go to school, become an FFA.
And this is something we'll be
Basically
looking at,
pilot.
whereas I believe it's the 107A, I may be speaking for the number, but
Okay,
there's a license that can be obtained.
okay. Do we have any idea how much money's in that account?
It's like 15 to 16,000.
Okay.
This is what was recommended to us from Oklahoma Highway Patrol, so this is these reps, this is what they use.
Okay.
Good deer camera.
The 9-6 account, Mr. Shropshire,
Yep. I should have looked, I'm sorry.
in that particular line item, 5510,
That is the police vehicle equipment.
that's police vehicle equipment, there's $4,078 in that account, currently.
I'll wipe that one out, didn't it?
Yes.
I don't know if this is time to ask this, but I think it would be a good idea to ask it at this time. When we get these agendas, is there any way when you have a line item that we're gonna take money out of, that you could actually give us a figure on how much money is in that account? Because not everybody's in the budget committee, and these other councilmen, they would probably like to know how much money we're spending and what we're spending down to. That'd be probably pretty handy.
I think that's a good idea, and I'll certainly make that happen.
Okay, thank you.
If I can, just because I know there's a big discrepancy, we're going off the report that was sent out in May from
Yeah.
Charlotte. 969655510 shows police car camcorders at 16,592. No, I could absolutely mess something up with the report that I have from her.
The way that's handled in Cassell,
Yeah.
it's not divided into each of those. We have to do that manually, go in and put in whatever they've received for that month in each of those line items, and then whatever's spent out of those. So that, those reports are not accurate because there's no budgeted amount. The department heads get a report showing after the end of each month what's left in each line item. June has not been closed yet because we were waiting on the budget to close June and the final entries that we did for Jeff. So after we approve the budget, we'll go back in and get June, and they'll get their June report, but I don't think there's been anything spent out of there, has there, James?
Not that I know of.
So his figure is gonna be the accurate report.
What'd you say it was?
15, or
16,592.47.
Yeah, I show
What
it,
we could do probably is go in and,
I show it, if you take this right here, I showed about 18,000.
Yeah, and I'm showing a different one too. My report.
I think it's about 17, right, 17.8, about 18,000 is what I show them.
what James has is probably right, because it's a
Well, because
separate,
he tracks it.
well, Charlotte does, and it's a separate report.
It's,
So to your point, Council Shropshire, some of these reports will be actually more accurate than others will be.
You're right.
Well,
But-
what we,
But when you ask that question, we should be able to give as accurate an answer as possible, because that's what we work from.
and what we can do on donations is go ahead and put like the
close it down.
fund balance at the end of June in as the budget amount.
Sure.
And in that way, Cassell will track it for us.
Okay.
If we're gonna track the budget as close as we look like we're gonna have to the coming year, then we're gonna need to know what kind of money's in that account, no
Sure.
matter where it's at, so just be a good idea.
Just for the record, so these funds that we have here are usually from donations or
Right.
something to that effect. So
Fund
this is
It's
like
not
the
budget.
general budget.
It's not
Um,
budget.
We went with this budget with this one because I didn't want to affect the general capital outlay, I probably would have. But it's something we need quicker than later, so I went with this account.
Okay, and that's wonderful. I was just saying that this way we're gonna have to watch the budget, we need to know how much money's in each account. So when we are, making the decision to draw something out of that account, we need to know what we have left in there.
So as y'all well know, the police department and the fire department do a very, very, very good job of tracking those, all of those funds. And they are good stewards about how they use those. And the library.
There you go.
And the library,
And the rec center, and the golf course,
Yeah.
and the street department, and the parks department.
To clarify that, this is James's day, to clarify that, I look at this, James went over $20,000 on police repair and maintenance last year, so you didn't do a very good job last year.
Ms. Trammell, I'll carry that on my shoulder.
No, blame it on James, he blames a lot of stuff on me.
Not gonna do it. Call for vote?
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Nance,
yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item BB, discussion and possible action regarding purchase of 30,000 rounds of 9mm ammunition from Precision Delta Corporation, the state contract price of $5,593.80 for Pryor Creek Police Department from Police Duty Ammo and Training Account 02-215-5062.
Motion.
Motion, Ketcher, second, Nance?
Smith.
Smith? Thank you very much. Discussion. Call for vote?
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item CC, discussion and possible action regarding expenditure in the amount of $15,247.50 to WatchGuard for the purchase of an extended warranty and evidence library, DVR and device maintenance software on 45 devices for term July 2021 to July 2022 for the Pryor Creek Police Department as sole source from budgeted capital outlay account 44455424. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Smith, second Brakefield. Discussion. Call for vote?
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith. Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7, committee reports, budget personnel. Ms. Brakefield.
No reports, at this time. Our next budget meeting is September 14th at 5:30. And hopefully it is a lot less stressful than this last one.
Hopefully so.
I'll just kick
Item B, ordinance insurance, Mr. Shropshire.
Not at this time.
No report. Item C, Mr. Smith.
Working on our packet for next week.
Very good. Item 8, unforeseeable business, know of none. Item 9, is there a motion
Motion.
to adjourn? Ketcher, second Smith. Call for vote?
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll call to order Pryor Public Works Authority. Item 2, approved minutes, August 3rd, 2021 meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Shropshire, second Smith. Call for vote?
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Trammell, Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3, unforeseeable business, know of none. Item 4,
Motion.
Second.
motion to adjourn, Ketcher, second Smith. Call for vote?
Not worried about it.
Smith,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Motion carries. Council, thank you for your